Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Overcast. It is the 35th episode of Overcast, your place for some Overwatch news in the community. I am Frostee, and I'm here to let you know about what's been going on with the show and what will be going on in the future. I want to remind you that you can always follow us on Twitter, at Overcast Show. You can also go to theovercastshow.blogspot.com, where you can find all of the show notes for every week's episode. You can also go to frozenfoxradio.com, learn about this and all the other shows that the Frozen Fox Radio Network has to offer. You can also go to our Facebook page that we have, and our video version is on YouTube if you're watching it right now, so we thank you for that. And also, if you're listening to the audio version, that's on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and now on Google Play Music, so go check us out on there. And thank you very much for all the support. Before I get into the episode, though, I wanted to talk about something that's going on with the show. Got a lot of kind of big changes that are going to be going on. First of all, you notice again that right now I am running solo. And that is because for some different reasons, Chris is taking an indefinite hiatus from the show at this time. Not exactly sure if or when he will be returning to the show, but I wanted to take a second just to thank him for all the work he's done to make the show what it is. He's basically been here from the beginning, and I want to express my gratitude for all he's done to make Overcast really what it is. And without him, it wouldn't be as big as it is right now and continuing to grow. So with that said, again, thank you to him, and I would hope that all of you go and follow him on his various social media and let him know how much you appreciate him. So as I get into the show, I want to let you know that moving forward, we have two new hosts that are going to be on the show with me. And those two new hosts are Ovadrive and Sawfty, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to them. And so here we are. We have our two brand spanking new hosts here for Overcast. This is Sawfty and Ovadrive. Sawfty is the big panda, as you can see right there in the corner. Ovadrive's down here. He's rocking the Overwatch logo and everything. How are both of you doing out there?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I am doing outstanding. It's great to have both of you here. We got a full house.
Yeah, doing well.
Awesome. Well, I want to make sure that all of our listeners and watchers get to know you. And so I want to give each of you a chance to introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and what kind of games you like to play, and what really, the main thing, what got you into Overwatch? Like, how did you find it? What made you want to talk about it so badly that you wanted to be on a podcast about it? So I'm going to start with Sawfty. Go ahead and give us your little spiel about yourself. This is your time to pub yourself. Do it.
All right. I'm the big fat panda with the potato webcam. Try to fix that next week. I've been playing video games a very, very long time. I started with Blizzard games back in Diablo 1, and I've been playing Blizzard pretty much only straight through. I got into Overwatch obviously like everybody did, at BlizzCon. I mean, I think that's where we all fell in love. Signed up for the beta, got in, and have been playing way too much ever since. So that is my absolute love for everything Overwatch and pretty much everything Blizzard.
Excellent. Well, glad to have you as part of the show. And
I appreciate that.
All of you listeners out there, give Sawfty an applause. He's taking a bow right now. You just can't see it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ovadrive, how are you doing out there?
Yeah, doing all right. I've been playing Blizzard games since StarCraft Brood War was out and Vanilla WoW, and really been playing Blizzard games ever since. Similar to Frostee, was at BlizzCon 2014 when they announced that.
Yep.
Signed up for it. I think they had some testing there, played it, loved it. Returned in 2015 again. Got to see a lot of the updates, and I didn't get into the beta, but I did have a chance to play last weekend, and man, was it fun. I played something of like 20 to 25 hours of the 36 hours, I think, that total they allowed people to play, and it was just a blast. So
nice.
Really excited for this thing to kick off and launch, and I just can't wait.
Awesome. What level did you reach in the weekend?
Man, I want to say like 18, something like that.
That's awesome.
That's not bad for only getting to play like 2 days. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Well, this is so great to have both of you on the show. These two awesome hosts will be fixtures on the show. We're going to change up our overlay a little bit in the future, but they're kind of like, I'm trying to do a little diagonal hand gesture to show where you are in relation to me. So there you go. Glad to have you. So should we just jump right into what's been going on this week then?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's talk about the beta test weekend that just barely ended. And now, Ova, this was your first chance outside of BlizzCon to be able to sit down at your own PC and to actually like take the game in. So I want to get your impressions first of all, because this is going to be the freshest impression we can get, I think, of the game.
Yeah.
So let us know what you thought.
Yeah, so diving in, I kind of gravitated to some of the heroes that I played at BlizzCon, so I tried out Tracer first, but then took a step back and really spent some time going into each of the heroes, and they all felt really unique, and you started to learn kind of where they fit into place. So you get your defensive characters, offensive characters, but all that was fantastic to dive into, and then checking out all the skins. So I kind of spent the first couple hours just getting used to the characters, understanding kind of where everything fits, looking at all the skins, and then started to gravitate towards some of my favorites. So like Diva, Soldier 76, Widowmaker.
Nice.
And I think with those, to me the alts were probably the most fun. So Soldier 76 box on the targets and just shoot away, and Diva with her mechs. So I think that's where I had the most fun in the game.
Yeah, you had an awesome play of the game when we were trying to. I don't remember if it was like right at the end of the game to like basically clinch it, where we basically had you come in and blow up the whole team.
Yeah,
that was a pretty sick play. So what about the graphics? Like being able to play on your own PC versus the intensely high end PCs of BlizzCon. How did it feel like on your own home computer? Be able to sit down?
It was super smooth. I only ran into a little bit of server lag, but I don't have a super top end computer, but I can play on Ultra, and the graphics are just phenomenal. Super smooth gameplay. It's just amazing. So
yeah, it's mind blowing, right? Like how beautiful the game is.
Yeah, and I obviously only got to play a couple maps, so I'm excited to see the art and all the graphics and a lot of the other the maps out there. So
there we go. Sawfty, what do you think? What did you like about the weekend? I know you played a lot, and we got to all play together during the weekend, so that was great.
Yeah. I pretty much loved everything about the weekend except for two things. One, I hated playing the same 3 maps over and over.
that was kind of annoying. I will admit that.
And the team compositions were pretty much a joke. You'd have quad Torbjorns going on attack, or whatever it might be, but it was pretty ridiculous seeing those compositions. Other than that, it was an absolute blast. It was so nice to be able to play with friends. I have a lot of friends that never got into the beta, and it was so nice to be able to get you guys in there and get that experience. I know, Ova, you seem to love it. And actually, I don't remember anybody having really a bad experience. I think everybody just got that first taste that has been waiting for it the whole time. So yeah, man, I had a blast.
Yeah, it was great, yeah.
The other thing outside of the gameplay that I was really impressed with was the voice feature in that game. So you kind of jump in and it connects you with your whole party, which was really cool. I'd love to see that go to other games within Blizzard. So just
if
pretty
we could get that in Warcraft, that'd be fantastic.
So I'm curious, are either of you in the voice test alpha? I'm
No.
guessing not then. Oh, you are, right?
Yeah.
Ova, yeah, you are.
Yeah, I've been testing that a little bit. It's outside of the game, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I just really liked how Overwatch integrated that feature into the game, where you don't have to click anything; it just kind of auto joins you. So.
Mm-hmm. I would love something like that in Heroes, except for the fact that I think it would just I would instantly mute everyone else in the team. So it might not be it's not the same as Overwatch, where either people. Like, whenever I'm, like, randomly pugging, if I'm not playing with friends, it seems like just no one talks. Or maybe, like, one person every once in a while. And you're like, okay, well, cool. Cool to meet you, Yeah. But in Heroes, I think it would just be kind of like the chat you get, that you want to mute, too. Sometimes.
I had, my first time ever today, I had a terrible experience in Overwatch with boys. Somebody just saying horrible things. That was the first time I've ever had a problem. So... up to that, I loved it, but there was a pretty rough experience this morning in there. Thankfully, I just left the game and didn't have to deal with it. But
there you go.
Other than that, all the hours I put in otherwise haven't been a problem.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that we ran into, and that's just, I think as part of the infrastructure testing, was like trying to get into games and having it re-instance like over and over and over. So you just sit there at a black screen for a couple minutes while it's doing its thing in the background. But Yeah, that's why we had the big weekend. That's why they're letting all those people in, because I think, oh man, when they first did the closed beta, it was like a few thousand people. And I think at the very beginning of the closed beta, there was like over 7 million people that had signed up to be in the beta, they said.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So, I mean, you're talking like fractions of 1% that actually got in. And even after all the beta waves up to this point, we're still not talking, really anywhere close to what they're going to see, and probably what they even saw on the beta test weekend. I think they let more people in this last weekend than they did in the last one. I think they're really trying to push it, and especially, when the latest comments from Jeff Kaplan talking about how they're going to be slowing down more on the character, changing side and doing more infrastructure, and things like that in the background that we don't really see, but that really affects the gameplay. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. What was your memorable moments, though? Like, Ova, what was your most memorable moment that you thought of from the weekend?
Oh man, I think it's just I think a lot of the alts and play of the games. I think with you being Mercy and getting to play of the games, the healer, that was probably my most memorable moment.
I think that total in that one day that we played, I had more plays of the game as Mercy than I ever have the entire rest of the beta put together.
Yeah, that was awesome.
When it would pop up and say play the game, I was like, what? Like, seriously? Again? Like, not that I'm mad, but just can't believe this. But yeah, there were some like just amazing alts. I mean, like Roger, our friend, when we were playing with him, the mower.
Yeah. Yep, the mower.
Mowing down the team, and then going into team chat to let everybody know that he is known as the mower, whether he realized what he was doing or not.
I don't think he knew that he was telling everyone. I thought he was just telling us.
Yeah.
But they did not. They were not happy with him. That's for sure.
So that was pretty funny. Sawfty, what do you think? What was your memorable moments of the weekend?
Yeah, that was it. You just said it, man. Watching people that haven't got a chance to play was just the coolest experience. I think what happens sometimes is when we get into a game, we kind of get into like a system. We may take advantage of it a little bit. We just don't appreciate it, maybe. And watching you guys get in there that hadn't played it was just a blast.
Yep.
Rogert was a perfect example. He just he fit right in pretty quick.
Yeah, he really adopted the Reaper mentality, especially in that game.
I actually see him more as a Junkrat, but yes, I agree.
I kind of felt bad for that team in that match, though. That was about as fast as we could win on Route 66.
That was insane. Yeah, that was not good for them. No.
So let's talk about the fact that the closed beta is ending. This is like the time of equalization, when not even us can play the game. So now we're all kind of an equal playing field again. So you're probably happy about that. And so the closed beta will be ending, and that's going to be, of course, a sad moment for all of us. And that's going to be on Monday, the 25th. So we got to get our gameplay in if we're going to finish it up here pretty quick. And the game will not open up again until the 3rd of May, when we will have the pre-order open beta, early access open beta, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
The early open beta, I guess, is the best way to think.
The early open beta access pre-order? I like it.
Yeah, just
well said.
Put as much as you can in that.
Yeah.
And so you get to play for a couple days, and then everyone else will pile in, and that's going to go for like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then there's going to be they're going to close that, and then they'll wipe everything again, and then they'll have an actual open beta for about a week.
Yeah, 5th through the 9th. So they're going to start May 3rd through 5th is the early access. 5th through the 9th is the other.
Yep.
And then it's done. Then we just wait until the real thing.
So sad.
So the question is, will we get a portrait maybe for doing it?
We got it for Heroes. Got the alpha portrait. I think there was a beta portrait too, wasn't there? I don't remember.
Yeah, there was
the alpha portrait.
Yep.
So there we go. If you haven't pre-ordered, if you're still on the fence somehow, your chance is coming.
That's not possible.
Your chance to play more is coming.
Or tell your friends to give you the keys that they'll be sending.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. We should talk about that. Not a lot of other games have ever done that.
Yeah, where you can just bring someone into the game. If you pre-ordered, you can be like, hey, come play this game with me, because Overwatch is best shared with friends, right?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Speaking of being able to play and everything, we have PAX East that's going on. Well, I guess I should say has gone on.
Has gone on, yep.
It's at this point.
Yeah, ending today, right?
I think today is the last day. But PAX East, huge thing. Huge presence for Overwatch there. Had a big booth. They had the, what they called it, like the Duel of the Century or something like that? Where they were going to have two players kind of like go at it. I saw like a promotion for it. I didn't like get to watch what it was all about.
I didn't get to catch that, no.
But they also had the Uber promotion, which that was what caught a lot of people's eyes.
That was very cool.
And what do you think about it? You want to be picked up in a Overwatch Lamborghini Ovadrive?
That'd be my dream. My favorite things, Lamborghinis and Overwatch.
Doesn't get much better, right?
Yep.
And so they had that. They had the Soldier 76 trucks, which apparently one of them may have been wrecked. We were talking about before the show.
Yep. I think I saw on Twitter somebody posted that one of the Soldier 76 trucks got in an accident. So they're, just kind of crazy out there.
And then there was like the Diva. What are they called? The Polaris, whatever that car is called. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Very cool, though.
So they had a bunch of those. Those are probably the easiest to get around the city, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the last public event for Overwatch, I would think. I don't think there's any other big events that they're going to be at between now and launch.
No, not before launch.
So there you go. Hopefully everybody that got to go to PAX East got a chance to play. They were giving out swag just like they do at other events, where they had like the glasses and all that. So yeah, maybe we should talk to Cuddles, see if we can get some from him.
There you go.
Have to bribe him. I don't know what I could give him, but yeah, we'll see. We give him an Overcast shirt. All right, so let's get into the news of the actual game itself, the inside of the game. And there's some hero balancing that went on this week. I'm going to let you start this off, Sawfty. We're going to talk about some McCree. How about that?
Yeah, you got it. So McCree had his alternate fire, which is the right-click, adjusted to have his shot and time increased from 0.3 seconds to 0.75 seconds. The devs thought that McCree's alternate fire was being used far too much. It was intended to only be situational, but a lot of people were using it as their primary point of damage. So this change makes it a little bit weaker, was their thought. And then, Oba, did you want to go over the Zenyatta changes?
Yeah, Harmony Orb healing is increased from 25 to 30 per second.
Is that a big change now? I mean, that doesn't seem huge, but...
Well, they changed like how the orbs work dramatically over the last couple patches. So those little kind of buff kind of equalizes them a little bit more now.
Okay, all right.
It doesn't look like a lot, like 5, but that's 5 per second, so it adds up.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think Zenyatta's probably going to be in a decent place now. I was kind of surprised when they made some of the changes, but like when they made it so that when like the orbs, like that one time, they used to stain you forever, it seemed like, and then you could like line of sight Zenyatta and they'd fall off, which was fantastic as a backline player.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, all right, I'm just going to duck behind the wall and done. Wasted your stuff on me. And Route 66, talking about that, it got a change. The payload has been slowed by 10%. Thank goodness.
Yep.
Except for if you're winning, right?
Yeah. If you were on attack, that was way too easy.
That payload was flying. Like that game that we talked about with our friend Rogert, the payload in that map, we hopped on that and it was like just stomped on the gas, man. And I think I only died at the very end because we went so fast to that map.
Yeah. I think at the very end, though, we were pretty much just charging in there, flying with little or no care at all.
We were just having fun at that point.
Yeah.
So there's that. They also changed the health pack placement around the map so that it's better. And they just wanted to make sure because they felt that attackers were winning far too much on the map. And it being a new map, I kind of see that they're gonna tweak it a bit. It's their newest baby in the map, so the map world.
Yeah, they had that same issue with Volskaya as well. Attackers were constantly winning.
Yep. Got to have that attacker advantage, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So they moved the initial spawn points back for them to make it a little bit more fair, and to help people. They pushed it back in the library. That's where it's going to be. So it'll let people hold objective A, hopefully a little bit longer, because A went down super fast sometimes.
Yep.
Just way too fast. Ova, what do you think about the progression reward changes that have gone in?
Yeah, so the portrait frames, gray portraits have been removed.
Thank God. Those are so ugly.
And all portrait frames now shift down one promotion level. Level 1 players will start with a bronze frame.
There you go. So, speaking of portraits, I want to I'm gonna slide off into a tangent here because this just came into my mind. But when you have your little hero icon, you know, you're not really a portrait, but the one that kind of goes with your account.
Yep.
So, have you gotten any of those for the hero that you play the most? Because mine
Never.
are all people that I never play.
I have 2 rows of them, and I hate all of them.
I play
have
with
a random Hearthstone one, a Horde one. I mean, they're all. They have talked about that and skins matching to heroes you play more. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, as of now, it just seems completely random. Or if anything, seems like, hey, you're not playing this. Let's give it to you, and maybe you'll play it then.
Maybe. I don't know what the logic is behind it, but I'm fine because they made the change a few weeks ago with you get more credits when you get credits now, which has been great because I can actually buy stuff.
Yeah, I bought a lot of skins since that happened.
And so there's that, and I think that's going to kind of make it so that they're not going to make it where you know, in a loot box, you're not going to get a skin for the hero you play mostly. But I wish they would add it for the icons, or at least do something like time-based, so you get so many hours in, you unlock the first icon. You get so many more hours in, you get the next icon of that player. And that I wish you can kind of control it.
Kind of like in Heroes, where you look the hero and you unlock the portrait that way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time spent on that hero unlocks the portrait or something like that.
Yeah.
That part of me does wish that the leveling system was hero-based and not account-based, so that you could pretty much choose the icons, the skins, things like that you want to unlock. But on the other hand, I do kind of like the randomness because it, at some points, gives you that incentive to play that hero more. I know I didn't really play Junkrat at all, and then I got 2 legendary skins of his in 2 loot boxes, and I played a lot of Junkrat after that. Same with Hanzo. I never used to play Hanzo, and then I got the legendary wolf skin one, and I played a lot of Hanzo. So,
yep,
it is good and bad to it.
I had that same feeling, like with Hanzo. I have barely ever played him, but if I got that Okami skin, I'd play all the time. Like, of course.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they make changes, and they still have time. They'll be tweaking stuff, and when the game launches, I'm just excited. Like for everybody to be able to play. All of you listening out there, all of my friends, we can finally just jump in. And are any of you going to get the game on console? I'm just going to throw that out there.
Absolutely not.
I'm not.
No way.
I'm probably going to get it on both, actually. So I'm getting it on PC already. I'm getting the collector's edition. So,
yeah, of course.
Which, I want that 76 statue. It's going to be pretty cool. And there's a lot of people I know that want to play it on console. And I'm like, I'll probably get it on console just so I can play with them.
I just can't imagine being able to play it as aptly on a console as you can on a PC.
Yeah, Ryan and Miska from Overwatch Central, they got to go to the YouTube Play event at the Blizzard offices local or around them. I think it was the one in Europe that they went to. I'm not sure, but I think that's the one that they did it at. I think they've been doing it all around the world at different Blizzard offices. But anyway, they got to go there and play it, and they said, it was a lot different at first. Like, when you kind of step in and playing it with a controller it's a lot different than playing it with a keyboard and mouse. But I think it'll be weird on a controller because, like, especially as Mercy, I feel like it's like Twitch gameplay for me.
Yep.
And I don't think I could get that duplicated with a stick.
Yeah, I felt like my mouse was going 100 miles an hour, so I don't know how you do that with a joystick.
Yeah, it just seems like the game would slow down a lot, and it'd be like, I don't know. I'll probably end up buying it, and if it's like that, I'll be like, oh, sorry, friends, I'm not playing with you. But if it feels like I'm in molasses, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, going back on the topic now, off my own tangent. I do it a lot.
Yep.
About sprays, some, quote, less popular sprays have been removed. And each hero has the same number of sprays, which was Zarya apparently had too many.
Yes, she
We were
did.
talking about that. So I wanted to know like what the less popular ones were, and I think we were talking about it before the show. And that was what they were, is because Zarya is one of the least popular played characters, at least that we know of. I wonder if that means that more tweaks will be in her future, like I've thought before. They've kind of, when people play characters evenly, which I don't know. I don't think they'll ever find like a real full even play balance. Do you think? Like,
No.
Overall, like,
No.
there's just going to be heroes that aren't going to get played as much, just because.
Right,
And-
unless every hero is the exact same with the exact same power level, you can never have an even split. People will just naturally navigate to certain heroes. And that's okay. That's just how the game is.
Yep. It's there's nobody out there like Aquaman that's like
Nope.
completely useless.
Thank God.
So sorry, Aquaman fans. Just I had to use the trope, right? Throw it out there. So there's that. Some of the removed sprays might come back later, and also remember that Blizzard a long time ago did open the door that we could have user-created sprays come into the game at some point. But
Absolutely.
with our awesome, talented community of artists in the Blizzard online community, it'd be fantastic.
I just have to say how much, just because you brought that up, I've been watching all the badges go out this time of year. Just amazing work. They're so incredible. That Twitter art community is just one of my absolute favorite parts of this whole video game, whatever community. It's just incredible to see what they can come up with.
It is. So let's talk about the story of Overwatch.
The
Ova-
Fall of Titan.
Ova, you got to watch that. I think all of us have watched parts of it at least.
Yep.
What did you think about the? I guess we'll just call it a documentary because it's really what it is. The story of Overwatch, the Fall of Titan.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear. I think Chris Metzen and Jeff Kaplan kind of talk about how passionate they were. That whole team was so passionate about Titan. And then when that kind of got cut, dumping their time into Overwatch and just being really excited about launching that. And one of the more interesting parts was towards the end they talked about Tracer and how that was kind of a core character for Titan, and they blended that over into Overwatch. So that was just really interesting to hear. If you haven't heard it, I would recommend go checking it out.
Yep. Let's. I think there's more parts to come, so be on the lookout for it. But it's a fantastic, thing to watch and to kind of get a behind the scenes look at really what happened with this, because the history of Blizzard, we don't really have too many games that got really that far and then were canceled. We got StarCraft Ghost and Titan that I can think of. I can't think of any others that even had like a legit kind of game that was formed yet, and then they were scrapped. And a lot of the documentary, we get to see how the team dealt with that, because that's a big thing to put a lot of time and effort into a game like that, and then it kind of gets yanked. But talking to my wife and other people I know in the gaming industry, like that's something that you go in as a person in the industry and you expect it to happen. You kind of know that that's like a risk that you can work on a project and it's going to get scrapped, or the work you do will get thrown away, and it just happens. But even with that expectation, like it's still not an easy thing to watch. Stuff you do kind of get thrown in the garbage, essentially.
Yeah.
Because it's not garbage. Even that's the sad thing about stuff like that. It's the things that Blizzard worked on, like they do great work. It's just not the right thing for them, not the right way forward. And they make those decisions, and we kind of reap the rewards. Now we have Overwatch.
Yeah, look what came out of it.
What about the McCree digital comic Train Hopper? Sawfty, what do you think about
Just too
that?
long.
It's so
Just
long.
too long. It's so long. No, it's it was good. Good art quality. Story was very short. I think we said it was about 2 pages out of a comic book, but
Felt
they
like
do
it.
they do a pretty good job going shot by shot to make it feel a little longer. Not much actual story yet. Kind of introduction to what's going on with McCree, but definitely something that I'll continue to read as we develop here.
Yeah, and excited for more future comics, but the art in it looked great. I mean, it's just
Yep, it was good.
So we're getting bombarded on all fronts. We got animated shorts, we got digital comics. There's going to be graphic novels coming out.
And now we have
awesome.
Taco Bell.
Now we have Taco Bell. Do you want to give us the 411? I know you're way excited about this.
Oh, I'm very excited about this. So Taco Bell is doing a promotion with Overwatch, where you can win the Overwatch Origins Edition. You can win the PC, PS4, Xbox, and a pair of Tracer Razer headset by buying food at Taco Bell. They have 4 cups right now. I believe they are the Tracer Soldier 76, Winston, and the other one was Reaper, of course. Reaper, sorry. And so
Nice.
even if you don't really care about winning, they're really cool cups to have. Not that I care at all. Not that I'm super excited by this because I live near Taco Bell. But that's kind of the promotion right now. It's really cool to see Blizzard really mainstream with this. This is compared other than like a McDonald's or something like that that's even bigger. It's pretty huge to do a pairing like this, especially for something that's on their product, like a cup.
Yeah.
I think that's really awesome to see and bodes well for the future of Overwatch.
It definitely does. I live in the surveyed, quote, least geekiest state in the country. So I wonder if I go down, if any of the Taco Bells around me will even be participating in this. I'll have to go see.
I'll have to send them up to you.
There you go. And it's kind of cool because the Overwatch team, I guess you could say, has really gotten into marketing. And this has been a topic on Twitter, especially over the last few days, especially with the documentary we just talked about and everything. And people really kind of talking about how a lot of people like to take a jab at WoW anytime they can.
Yep.
And it's really been coming out, especially with the Taco Bell thing and the PAX thing. And people are like, "Oh, Legion's coming out, and they're not even talking about it yet." And I'm like,
yeah.
Just cool your jets. Just cool your jets. Like, this is a brand new IP. This is brand new. And not only is it brand new, we're like a month away from it launching. So Blizzard, of course, is going to promote every chance they get with this, because they're tapping into a brand new market. And the brand new market they're tapping into is, you're trying to compete with other people to play shooters. So you're trying to compete with, Call of Duty and stuff like that. And where have those games been promoted in the past? Places like Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly.
You just think Blizzard, Activision, like, they know how to promote these kind of games. A lot of people say, well, they operate so independently. Activision doesn't have anything to do with Blizzard, and Blizzard doesn't have anything to do with Activision. But on some fronts, they literally are the same company. You have to remember that. They still are the same corporation. And they know how to promote these things, and they've got deals and stuff like that they work in the background. And this is just going to get Overwatch into the eyes and hands of more people. So
my wife actually asked that exact same question today when we were talking about this, and she asked, "Well, why aren't they doing this for the new WoW expansion that's coming out?" And what I tried to explain to her is that you have an actual new IP for a company that very rarely has new IPs, and that you have this kind of split. You need to promote one and hope it continues, and then kind of stop, gather all your stuff, and promote another. So there's 2 very different time areas that you need to execute between now and August, when the Warcraft Legion expansion comes out. So yeah, until then, promote the heck out of this game. I mean, Activision, like you said, has done this before. They know what they're doing. And honestly, I think Overwatch can appeal to a much wider crowd right now in this day and age, where when I was a kid, games like World of Warcraft, Anarchy Online, other major MMORPGs could, you know what I mean? That was more what hit me. Now, my wife says, "Hey, we got 20 minutes before we have to go." I got 2 games of Overwatch in. I mean, in WoW I can't do anything. I can click my garrison, and I'm like, well, I guess I got to go now. So I mean, this is a game that applies much more broadly to today's consumer. So I think it's really important that Overwatch gets their name out to, again, a much broader type of consumer.
Yeah, what do you think about this, Ova? Like seeing Overwatch just kind of like everywhere. It literally is like everywhere. It feels like.
Yeah, no, it's great, and I think all the points you made are spot on. Right? They need to promote this. They need to get out there and keep doing what they've been doing with that, and I just think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because there's commercials, like not only commercials, but I'm talking like they're buying prime spots for these commercials. Like I watch Better Call Saul and The Walking Dead and all that, and they're buying commercials like multiple spots in those shows for like Overwatch and stuff, and you're like, this is crazy, but it's awesome. Overwatch will launch. Its time will come. Its time will pass, and we'll transition as the Warcraft movie approaches to Warcraft and then to Legion. It'll have its succession, and all the advertising will fall into line. You'll see. Just give it time.
Both of you guys have been playing for a long time for Blizzard games. Do you remember I think it was Super Bowl halftime, and there was a couple other major spots, the Warcraft ads with Mr. T, Chuck Norris, all those. Yeah, they did the exact same thing. They were doing exactly what this game is trying to do, to promote to a broad range of audience, because that is who was playing that game. I mean, look how many millions of people Warcraft got at that time. So it's nothing different. Overwatch will do this, and then the game will start, and they'll do it a little less, and then Legion will kind of take over after the WoW movie is done.
Not to get on a WoW tangent, but I want my Toyota Tacoma in WoW. If you remember that commercial with the there's no trucks in World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that played during like the national championship, like NCAA football game or something like that. I think that's when that one came out. Just like I remember seeing that on TV and was just like, what is this? It's crazy.
That was a pretty good commercial too.
Yeah, I want that mount one day.
If anybody has never seen that commercial, essentially somebody was talking about what they were going to mount on, and one guy mentioned his truck, and goes, there's no trucks in Warcraft. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the game, this big Toyota Tacoma comes barreling down a hill and crushes everyone. It was a pretty funny commercial.
It was awesome. So that brings us to the Ask Overcast part of the show, and we have one question. So, Ova, do you know what that question is?
So the question that was submitted was, how is that big fat panda so damn sexy?
Oh, that's a fair question.
So I guess we should let the panda answer.
Lots of Mike and Ikes. That's all I can say.
I was going to say it's either that or bamboo. That or bamboo.
Yeah, it's got to be the bamboo.
So remember, you can tweet at the show. You can also just use hashtag #AskOvercast, and you can ask the show questions. You can ask any of us questions about Overwatch or anything, and we will answer on the show. So be sure you do that. And do we have any shout-outs for the week? A new segment that we're going to do? Shout-outs? Anyone? Shout-outs?
Yep, I definitely do. I wanted to give a shout-out to the Overwatch Reddit community on Discord. If you're not in that community, it's an awesome community. I also wanted to get a specific shout-out to St. Lemons, who gave me... I had posted in chat that I would love a panda bear, either Roadhog or Winston icon, and he immediately drew up one, and it was like instantaneous. I sent it over to you, Frostee.
Yes,
I thought
awesome.
It was very cool. So if you're not in that group on Discord, definitely get in there. And thank you, St. Lemons.
All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show. And again, so glad to have both of you on the show as our two new guests, and I'm excited to see where the future takes us. The last thing I'll wrap up with is BlizzCon tickets. They went on sale this week. They finished the sale. It's all sold out as of right before we started recording today. I will be there. Ova will be there. Sawfty,
I'll be watching.
Sawfty will be watching. So it's going to be awesome. We hope to meet as many of you as we can there. Be sure to check out all of our Twitter and everything to be informed of where we're going to be at the con and what we're going to be doing. If we're involved in any events, like we were with Con Before the Storm last year, if that happens or anything else, we will let you know. So there we go. So remember to follow the show. You can do that at Overcast Show on Twitter. That's where you can find the show itself. How about you guys? Ova, where can people find you on Twitter?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Ovadrive CTR or on Twitch at Overdrive CTR.
There you go. Sawfty, what about you?
You can find me on Twitch at Sawfty. That is OLSAWFTY.
All right. And also remember that this show is part of the Frozen Fox Radio Network, so you can go to frozenfoxradio.com, learn about this and all the other shows that the network has to offer, because we have a lot to offer, and all those shows will be at BlizzCon covering it this year as well, so it's going to be exciting. And finally, thank you to everyone, whether you're listening on Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, or now Google Play Music, or if you're watching this on the video version on YouTube. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you to the two hosts, Sawfty and Ovadrive. And I'll just close by saying I'm Frostee.
I'm Sawfty.
I'm Ovadrive.
We'll catch you next week.